Hello again, welcome back to the channel. It's Chrissy Sawyer here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your lovely comments on the last video. And if you watched the last video, when I was choosing a sentence out of the sentence jar, I don't know if you noticed, but two popped out and one fell on the floor. And after I'd done the reading, I picked the one up off the floor and another message wanted to come out. So this is my first chance today to just capture. I don't know what it is, but it's feeling very different. The energy is very different. So this is a sentence that I've amended since I created them. Am I in my intelligence or my emotions? Now, what I'm feeling into feels very scorpionic. It feels deep, rich, fertile, fecundity. It feels gorgeous, the energy. And that's all I know at the moment. So I'm going to reiterate, the final card that came out yesterday is freedom, and it's feeling like breakthrough energy in a really big way. So, am I in my intelligence or my emotions? So this is about the decision-making process, like the whole decision-making process. And when I'm talking about, am I in my intelligence? I'm talking about, am I dancing with active intelligence? The void, the collective unconscious, Shiva, the unmade, call it what you will. And as the unmade, the not yet manifest, it's going to be new and I might not know quite what I'm doing. And that's going to ask me to be super confident, maybe courageous, maybe bold, maybe rebellious, maybe offensive. Different coding to polite, courteous, belonging, sane. Or am I in my emotions? Am I manifesting from my emotions? In our emotions, we're in the past. We're in past programming. Parental programming, educational programming, religious programming, and consumer programming. They're the four pillars that have created the society in which we find ourselves, but there is still choice. So if I create from my emotions, then if I'm coming from the past, then that might be previous woundings. And if I'm emotionally unable to control the future, then I'm creating through anxiety, through need. And there's I'm seeing a lot of people abandoning their should. Enough, I get the word enough now. It's that energy. It's gorgeous. It feels very calm. I feel very calm with it. There's no anger there. It feels very lovely. So, my beautiful family village peeps, I've only pulled two cards and I don't know what's going to follow. So let's just be guided. And the first card to come out, can't make this up, is Hecate and Mica. So Hecate is that very kind of Lilith, underworld, shadow, feminine. And Mica is like a blade. I should have thought, actually, I could have shown you some Mica. I'll show you some Mica. Bear with me. Wait there. Okay. So this is Mica. So do you see how it grows in fine blades? And it's kind of iridescent. It's a beautiful, beautiful stone. It's very fragile, but it is a blade. So, so I bring you the blade, the cutting away of an old paradigm, the cutting away of the Capricornian patriarchal structure. It's lovely. I'm really noticing it's a powerful, gentle energy. So I'm just going to read the first paragraph from this book. This is the Crystal Mandala deck, if you're interested. So this is about the empowerment of the crossroad of destiny. I've got the nodal points coming in here because the nodes are going to change in the next month or two. So it talks about a pivotal point on our life journey. This may be obvious to you with a potentially life-changing decision before you, or you may not realize the impact that an apparently insignificant choice is going to have on your future. Either way, you are at a point where you can leave the past behind and chart your course for a new adventurous chapter to begin in your life. Wow, this really is rebirthing energy. This is not something you need to be frightened of. It is a sign that you are progressing on your path. So we've got growth here in the collective. The crossroad of destiny happens when you have mastered a cycle in your life and a new cycle is before you. And we're coming up to Samhain, which is kind of the harvest festival, the Halloween, the thinning of the veil, the pagan new year, being birthed in Scorpio, which is death. I love this energy. It is an opportunity you can take best advantage of by listening to your heart. So here I get the word volition again. I've been talking about this word for weeks now. And what's it going to be like to create from volition, not to create in the program of should, would, could, might, try, all of that disempowering stuff. Do, without attachment to consequences, without attachment to expectation, letting go of that need to please and that need to belong. It feels very autonomous, feels gorgeous. And the other card I've drawn for you I get mastering the extremes with this. 2 energy is about mastering the extremes. A way through the struggle, let me just put that there, has already been created for you and you are being led on that path. So again, when you're following your own path, you may only be able to see 2 steps ahead of you, and it's learning to trust that. Again, we're reaching into the jaws of the lion here with the courage card. And when we lose or release our attachment to getting it right, looking cool, pleasing the ego, then we play like children. We wander around in the dark. Your authentic soul path may include recognition and acclaim, notable success and admiration. Be grateful, but do not be dazzled or distracted by such experiences. And here we're talking about egoic creation compared to heart volition, dancing in the unknown. Focus on what connects you to your heart and grounds you in the simplicity of spiritual truth, which is the practice of love, kindness, and peace. This will allow for successful progress in the material world without disturbing the sanctity of your soul. I sense this is going to be a truly unctuous reading. Let's see what else comes out. Goes over there. Let's pop that bad boy up there. And I'm going to go to the Shaman deck course because it's Scorp. The underworld, but it doesn't feel horribly shadowy. It feels very rich. What else for the collective, please? It's about the fragmented self. It's about coming home, because the soul is the bridge to your metaphysical selves, to your non-physical selves, to your unique, to your freak. So this is speaking straight into that Samhain, Halloween energy, and there's not going to be much in the way between this 3D existence and the multi-dimensional you. So soul retrieval and an underlying energy. Yeah. Okay, that's a 13-4, isn't it? So many paths. So I'm noticing that this is coming in on a 13-4 energy, which is kind of, it's that ability to hold cognitive dissonance. It's the ability to hold conflict. And I can see what I pulled a card earlier, which was the card of maturity, and I put it back in the deck because it just kind of wasn't landing, but it's coming in now. And in a new maturity, to hold that the tension of opposites, that's what we've got, and we've got that on the, you know, on the 22 here, is holding that to become master builder. This is the energy, is the master builder. So it's really experimenting with what the opposites are, because for badness to exist, goodness has to exist, because they're on the same pole. This is polarity, the law of polarity. And this helps us navigate the good and the bad. You know, so sometimes if a client has a breakthrough, they want to measure it immediately. Was that good? Is that good? That's early programming. That's a parent or a teacher telling you to be good. And so the conflict might be, there's many paths in who do you want to be? Do you want to be that person? And there's a bigger question about, am I in my intelligence or my emotions when I respond to this conflict? Okay. So what I'm really getting with this is it's a new way to navigate conflict. Yep, boom. Okay, thank you, that's lovely. Anything else for the collective? Okay. I'm just trying to phrase this as a question. I prefer to kind of put the boundaries out of it. Yeah, right, I prefer to witness. Okay, so I was talking to somebody the other day who works in an environment with heavy conflict. And I made a suggestion, and this has always served me well as I've been working through in the way that I study human behavior. I do it as a witness, but because I like to have fun, I do it as an alien. So I imagine that I am an alien sent on a mission to planet Earth to observe humanity. And as that, my job is to observe and identify using intelligence. Okay, so it's following the facts and the evidence without bias, emotions. Beautiful, thank you, that's a gorgeous message. Following the facts and the evidence without bias, without emotions. So witnessing the tension of conflict as we're coming into change, and here now today doesn't feel anything to be afraid of. It feels very deep. So the witness. So you may see many paths. You may be opening up many, many choices for what am I going to build in 22? Because this is the energy we're in. What am I going to build in 22? You won't really get the answers to that. You know, we've got, it's gone. I saw the Saturn card on the bottom of the deck because it's going to come in time, and it's going to come in time when you're connected through the heart. Okay, so we're creating from the heart in your truth. This is very unique to you. Right, so we've what did I do with thunder? We had thunder and I've put it back. Now we have lightning. All right. And now we have earth. And now we have completion. Wow, wow, and wow. I don't know what I did with the thunder card. Forgive me, bear with me. Yeah, I'll put it somewhere safe. Right. Wow, wow, wow. So we have lightning. So this is feeling, this is air, mind, higher intelligence. And as you connect with your creativity and dancing around in the collective unconscious, it literally might come in like a bolt of lightning. How do I talk into that? Okay, what I'm getting with this, okay. What I'm getting with this, peeps, is the bolt of lightning might be about something that you've lived with for so long that you don't even see it anymore. Does anybody do a regular long journey in the car? And you get there and you don't know how you've got there because the brain has deleted most of the journey. You might see something that's been under your nose all of this time. Yesterday's video, when I was in one of my review meetings and I counted 16 newly built blueprints. It was right under my nose. I'd already done the work. But it came in like a, like a, how have I not seen this? Now I'm seeing this come through my client base at the moment. The realization that thank you. The realization that the thing I'm pursuing is a thing I've already done. I just can't join to it. Haven't joined to it. So one of my very wise clients talks about, I knew it and I knew that I knew it, but my body hadn't realized it. So there hadn't been that cellular acknowledgement. Okay, and we're leaning into, how do I celebrate achievement? Because it's a great achievement, the work that this family are doing. I won't speak for anybody else, but the work that this family are doing in exploring the expansiveness of self. So look out for those lightning bolts. You may not get all the answers to begin with, but look out for the lightning bolts, grab them, grab them. This is so Saturnian, God. This is so Saturnian. Wow. So Earth is about structures. Saturn is structures. It's about structures, old structures. And here we have. It's the rebalancing, isn't it? This is Ophiuchus in the house. Maybe this is the Ophiuchus reading, actually. I think this is the Ophiuchus reading that I was talking into yesterday. This completion, this card's been coming out a lot recently because we complete many, many cycles. If you study the flower of life, circles within circles within circles, all dissecting and intersecting one another. There isn't like this one, I've completed a cycle. One activates another, activates another. It's a beautifully complex, elegant process. Many paths, witnessing. And this might be talking about many timelines converging. There's such a timeline collapse been going on since, well, 2 years ago. I really started noticing it. And that's when we harvest, when we're in harvest season. So we'll be harvesting wisdom learned on those different timelines, which are all happening now. And it's the ability, especially at this time of year, it's the ability to be able to travel between those timelines. Don't have to even do it consciously, just allow the mind and trust the body, it will know what it's doing. Alrighty, I want to switch to another deck now. Where am I going? Okay. I can't reach. Right. Let's play with these. Okay, let's expand this story, please. How can we bathe in this richness? Because it's feeling like a very personal experience. Yeah, absolutely. How can we bathe in this experience? Underlying energy. I want to say the forge. The forge, as in the soul forge, because we've got that 13-4 holding the conflict. And with the law of polarity, there are no two opposites that cannot be reconciled. And it's literally forging base metals into gold. And it's holding that pressure, it's holding that cognitive dissonance, holding the opposites and creating something new by really holding. Sorry for saying holding so many times. Forge is what I get with that. Strength, it takes strength. That's the underlying energy. Oh, these are beautiful. So how can we dance in this richness? This is childlike curiosity. And it is what it is. Okay, so sometimes we distort. So the brain does three things. It distorts, generalizes, and deletes. So all young male adults are wearing hoodies or trouble. That's a generalization. Long journeys on a regular basis, that's a deletion. Distortion, look at the trees. Is there any part of your mind that can conceive of seeing trees like this? Or is the mind so fixed and rigid? Trees only grow straight, don't be silly. All right? This is child energy we're bringing to this. Oh, look. The trees are bendy. And it is what it is. Thank you. It is what it is in witness energy. All right? Witness. Because shit's going to change, like radically change. Belief systems, behavior, intimacy, interaction, it's all going to change. So dance with curiosity in witness mode, all right? If it behooves you to do so, I'm not here to tell you what to do. This is Queen of Pentacles energy. Nurturer. Okay, there is a question here. There is a question here of about, look at this, right. Balance, right. So the question that's coming in for me here is how much do I give and how much do I receive? This is a really good sense check. If you give way more than you receive, have a look at that. Have a look at the motivation. Have a look at the emotions versus the intelligence of what creates that imbalance. I said to somebody recently, what do you want for yourself in this? And the answer was, I want to help others. I'm hearing that you want to help others. I'm not hearing what you want for yourself. Oh, but that gives me joy. Well, okay. So there's a question here of nurturing the self. There's a question about how you balance the giving and receiving, which asks a bigger question of blocks to receiving. Okay. They're generally not intelligent. They are generally emotional. It's around self-worth, self-belief, deservingness. Deserve. What if we take that word out of our vocabulary because it's based on religion? So balancing the nurturer energy is how we're going to dance in this richness. Okay, right. See how it's sewing together? We've got the tension of opposites. So if I'm being called to nurture myself and somebody else needs me, who am I going to disappoint in this? Because codependency is the basis of so many relationships on the planet, because we're all so bloody keen to please one another, and it's nonsense. So I won't hurt that, so I will hurt this. That's the systemic sentence that goes with that movement. Codependency, I won't hurt that, so I will hurt this. Did we had the life is speeding up card yesterday. Is that going to be the challenge? So we've got the force and surge. Now I can give you a heads up that the energy is going to start speeding up as we walk into November. And I'm not going there yet because these two cards feel very different to this unctuous deep dive. So this is soul forge work. Scorpio season, it's Western. Scorpio season is soul forge work. Okay, I don't know where to go from here, so I'm just going to keep pulling cards. What needs to be seen, said, heard? Okay, let's ask a question then. In my intelligence, what can I look out for? In my intelligence, during this season, what can I look out for? The crown chakra is opening up just on that question. So I'm going to look out for that. Holding the tension of opposites. Staying curious will help bend into new truths, all right? Flexibility, staying curious, and here we have diligence. This is intelligence, all right? This is critical thinking. This is the antithesis of blind obedience, hive mind. Diligence is I'm making every choice, with every step, with every word, with every thought. Total switched onness. Diligence. Bigger picture. That's changed my energy. That's activating the heart. That's interesting because what I can feel now is the energy I would associate with my solar plexus activating in my heart. Right. I don't know what that means because I'm staying in witness and I'm staying curious, and it is what it is. My heart is vibrating like my solar plexus usually does. Okay, and let's go the opposite. In my emotions, where might my emotions hold me back? Where might our emotions hold us back in the collective? What's going to get challenged in the emotional realm? What's going to get challenged in the emotional body? Yep, okay. Don't we love this word? What was that sentence? So the emotion that's going to get challenged with this patience card is needing to look good doing it. Start, middle, end. That's the old paradigm. Start, middle, end. Patience before you form a new belief. Patience before you form a new set of values, a new set of blueprints. Patience. That might be the sticking point emotionally. You might want what isn't ready to birth. If you have a lack of belongingness in you, you might feel like you've been left out in the cold. You might feel this is not happening for me. I'm not seeing anything turning up, and I'm seeing that an awful lot in the collective. When is this going to happen? When is this change? It's happening. Now it is happening. So, patience or impatience is the answer to the question. Where the emotions might hold us back would be where we spot that we're feeling impatient. hold that moment, go into it, and let the body give you the story. Yeah. I'm just holding the silence. There's nothing that needs to be said. Just tune into this energy. I don't know what that means. I get revelations with this. Revelations and some of the truths that you're going to be shown might be uncomfortable. Again, work with holding the discomfort. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. What a glorious reading. I am loving this. All right. I've got to go for a client very shortly, but I'm going to start wrapping this up now. So let's have an oracle, please, and start wrapping this message up. Are there any other messages we need to know? It's happening now. Yeah. I get many beings with this. Many, 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 many beings. There's so much going on that we cannot see yet. That was my tummy rumbling because I'm hungry. Spirit of the river, deep water. This is deep water. 50 is it's a big change. It's a big change. Yeah. Movement towards adventure. Use that energy with the nurturer energy. Is how do you rest? I know I've said this, I know I've said this before, but it bears repeating about when I have conversations with people about how they rest. Well, I'm lying down, Chrissy. I'm not doing anything. Yeah, but what's your mind doing? Well, the mind's doing 50 other things. It's the mind that needs the rest. Really, really to let go. Really let go of the shoulds, the obligations, the burdens, to really let go. This is freedom on a massive level. That's the patience, okay? So we're in death and rebirth and gestation, all at the same time. 63.9, completion on all levels. This is huge. We cannot know. We cannot know the depth and breadth of what's happening. It's huge. It's huge. You are not here by accident. You are not. All right. Let's have one final message, please. And then I'm going to love you and leave you and find food. One final message, please. Or two. Yep. Let go. Let go of everything that troubles you. Let go of every shoulda, woulda, coulda, need to. And surrender. And what will happen is it will just fall. It's the essence of falling in love. It's falling into the heart chakra. It's falling into the beingness of yourself. Surrender, sometimes learning to surrender can feel as if you're dying. The ego learns what's hardest to stop trying to control the universe. The ego learns what's hardest, which is to stop trying to control the whole universe. Self-love, let the wall fall that separates you from your own vulnerable inner child. I long to take care of myself like never before. That's beautiful. I long to take care of myself like never before. This is the resurrection of the innocent child, all the way home. Glorious, glorious energy. I've absolutely loved doing this reading. It's felt like a spa day. Yeah, and I'll be back soon. I'm still working up to the Samhain reading. So for today, I'm going to leave you with my love and thank you again for being here and commenting and liking, subscribing. You're all so welcome. Yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know how this lands with you, where you are on your journey. Yeah, peace and love. Take care. Bye-bye.